when neuroplasticity works. And if you're losing that opportunity post-exercise, you're leaving gains on the table, if you will. So not only are you going to see every the athletes that I work with mostly have a breathing strategy in competition, we're not going to just finish a workout, high five, drink water, and walk out of the gym. There will be a down regulation strategy that is heavily involved with some sort of light control as well as breath control. The individual prescription on that, there's a ton of variation with what you can do. The easiest thing is do something that calms you down. Most likely that's going to be move towards as much nasal breathing as you can possibly do. And a really easy rule of thumb is a double exhale length relative to inhale. So if you need to take a 4-second inhale, double that time and breathe out for 8 seconds. Box breathing is fine. So equal inhale, equal hold, equal exhale, equal hold. So 4-second inhale, 4-second hold, et cetera, et cetera. A triangle is fine too. There's a lot of ways you can get really complicated, like what Brian McKenzie will do and Rob. Those guys you can get all kinds of systems for inhale, exhale control. It can be optimized, but some strategy of calm. We're going to almost always put you on your back or close, and then we're going to cover light. We can do some, like we've done actually a number of musical interventions as well, but you can just as simple as sit down in the locker room if you have to and just breathe for 5 minutes. That alone is going to be productive.
That's great. If you're breathing in the locker room for 5 minutes, I suggest closing your eyes or you get some funny looks. And if you'll still get funny looks, but you won't see people looking at you.
Yeah, exactly.
I love this. And I started doing this because you and Brian McKenzie informed me about this, and it completely changed the rate of recovery for me. I realized that I was leaving workouts, both endurance workouts and strength hypertrophy workouts, feeling great, but looking at my phone, getting right into email and meetings, not concentrating on my breathing. And all I did was to introduce on your recommendation, a 5-minute down regulation. So exhale emphasized breathing, a bunch of different varieties, physiological size, box breathing, exhale emphasized, twice as long as the inhale component for 5 minutes. And I noticed two things. One, I recovered more quickly, workout to workout, no question about it.
Yeah.
The numbers told me that. And the other is that I used to have this dip in energy that would occur 3 or 4 hours after a hard workout. And I always thought that had to do with the fact that I generally eaten a meal at some point post-workout. It turns out it wasn't the meal at all.
Yeah.
It's that adrenaline ramp up during the workouts. I wasn't clamping that at the end. And so I think eventually it just crashed. And then 3 or 4 hours later, I'm having a hard time even reading what's on the screen of my computer, thinking maybe it's the screen, maybe it was what I ate for lunch. Turns out the down regulations allowed me to work through the afternoon with no issues whatsoever. Yeah, it's really been quite powerful. And so I'm grateful to you for that. And I think this is something that I think 98% of people are not doing. And it's only 5 minutes.
You don't even have to do 5. Give me 3. If you really have to push it, give me 3. And you can even do this, you can save time. You can do this in the shower if you have to. So you're done, you're finished, drink of water, whatever it has to be, and you're getting in a shower, you're getting ready. Just give me 3 minutes in the shower. It's not ideal, but as little as that, it can pay huge dividends. You need some sort of internal signal that we're safe. Like, throttle down here, we're going to move on. That has to happen. I could go on and on here, but I think we're making the same point kind of over and over again. It's a big deal and do it.
Yeah, and you're saving energy. I mean, the energy here is neural energy. I think fighters do this. Good fighters learn to do this between rounds.
Yeah.
Sprinters learn to do this between events. I think humans should learn how to do this between any, sort of interval type activity, including work, social engagement. I mean, this is such a powerful tool.
Do this for 1 minute after every important, whether it's an individual high volatile interaction or if it's you just did a nice 45-minute sprint to work and you're deep into it or whatever, fine. Just give me 1 minute. Set your alarm, just 1 minute, and that also will pay dividends.
I love it. And as I said, it's made a outsized positive difference on my training, but also activities outside my training, which is, for me, I'm not a professional athlete. I train for health and because I enjoy it, but when a really hard workout starts to interfere with the ability to do the other things in life, that's not a good situation.